What's the best way here in New Mexico? Is the governor on the right track, regardless of what the federal government wants to do? Are we on the right track here in your gut from everything you've seen from the governor so far?
There's been so much confusion, I think, out there, and unfortunately, a lot of confusion even within the White House task force that's working on this. I do think that there's no reason to set arbitrary timelines. I think that causes more confusion for people. Obviously, we'd all like for this to be lifted by Easter, and certainly a lot of restaurant workers, people in the hospitality industry, a lot of folks in retail would love to get back to work. Excuse me, but I don't know that I agree with Dr. Fauci. We can't just impose some sort of arbitrary timeline. We
Mm-hmm.
have to be prudent in this situation. I think the governor's on the right track as far as making sure people understand that this is a very serious issue, and we all need to take precautions and do what we can to stay safe.
Mm-hmm.
But what's interesting is when you asked the question earlier about the gentleman who passed away in Eddy County, I mean, there's so much confusion even around that, because I had heard that he actually had declined
Yes,
the coronavirus test at first, not that it wasn't available to him.
you're quite right.
But I'm hearing a lot of conflicting things too. And people even in that area who I know also had heard different things, that it had come from a doctor. And then the media said, actually, the doctor didn't have direct contact. So there's just a lot of confusion, and that leads to a lot of fear.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the best thing that we can do is just be patient, get through the day, do what we can, and really be kind to one another.
Mm-hmm. Tom, let me ask you the same question roughly about what the president wants to do about getting the economy started again. Look, no one will disagree that, the economy going to a very low place is not good for anybody, but death is probably a little bit worse than that if you really want to get down to it. But is there, in fact, a way in your mind, Tom Garrity, to have certain businesses sort of roll back in after a couple of weeks? Or is that just folly to think that we can kind of tiptoe into this thing?
Well, the ordering really should be more focused on, how do we make sure that people get the tests that they need to get? How do we make sure we get the virus under control or to a manageable level of eliminating, flattening the curve?
Mm-hmm.
Once those items are addressed, then I think you can go back to saying, okay, what does the new normal kind of look like at that point? I think that, looking ahead, sure, a lot of us want to be able to see business, get back on track and, all of us address this recession head on.
Mm-hmm.
But really, we have to make sure that we do it in a safe way. So to put, businesses ahead right now, while personally I would like to see that, it's really not a move that appears anyway that would be, conducive with flattening that curve of infections and people seeking admission into hospitals.